Welcome to the Stop Overdrinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving working moms come to learn how to stop overdrinking, reduce overwhelm and anxiety, and show up like the players they were meant to be. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik, and let's dig in. Welcome to episode 37, Using Frustration as Fuel. What's up? How are you guys? I'm fantastic, as usual. I am getting ready to go to Texas this week for Mastermind, which is a gathering of amazing life coaches with the Life Coach School for an annual meeting. And of course, there'll be lots of coaching and inspiration and celebrating successes for all the work that fellow life coaches in all of their specific niches have done over the past year. So I am super excited. I get to see all the people I went to training with. Of course, I get to see my coaches and to be in the presence of Brooke Castillo, which is always mind-blowing. So super excited about that. And what this next quarter of 2019 has in store for me and for you and for my family. I just love sort of like the countdown has begun, right? School's back in session. We've got 3 full months before the holidays are upon us. So I feel like the clock is ticking, which always energizes me to get all the things done I want to do before the end of the year. So this podcast is called Using Frustration as Fuel. And I want to talk about frustration because it's an emotion that I feel on the regular, as many of you probably do when you are trying to do something new and you don't seem to be able to do it, right? Frustration, frustrated, feeling frustrated. And so I want to ask you, what does frustration feel like to you? For me, it feels a little bit like anxiety. It's a tightening in my body, and I feel my heart rate speed up a little bit. And sometimes I feel that vibration, that energy go down my arms, and it sort of sits in the middle of my stomach, like right around my belly button. And like I said, I'm very familiar with this emotion. I have felt frustrated in many areas of my life. Probably in all areas of my life, I have felt frustration, right? It's the 50-50. There's good, there's bad. You've got frustration mixed in with everything. Frustrated when I used to overeat and overdrink, especially the next day. Frustrated with my kids when they don't listen to me. Frustrated with my husband when he doesn't do what I think he should do around the house. Frustrated with my ex-employer that they didn't acknowledge my hard work. Frustrated with my dad that he didn't come visit me. I could probably create a list of 25 common areas of my life where I had often felt frustrated. And frustrated is one of those emotions that can cause you to lash out or drink or eat, for sure. But frustration can also be a fuel for you to make some significant changes. And that's what I want to talk about, using frustration as fuel in this podcast. For me, when I decided to dive into my brain and fully understand why I was overdrinking and overeating, I was definitely frustrated. I had been on the auto-repeat cycle for over 20 years, all the diets, all the fasts, all the weight gain, and stopping overdrinking and failing and feeling tired and regretful and just stuck. I was so frustrated at being stuck. And that high level of frustration and that hamster wheel led me to make a decision to hire a life coach and go all in on figuring out my shit. And taking action from that negative emotion, from that frustration, doesn't always have to be a bad thing, right? Just make sure you love your reason. My frustration level had risen very high. If you can imagine like a chart or a bar chart, that frustration level kept going up and up and up until I just reached my breaking point with it. I was just done, just so done with it. Do you feel me on that? Have you ever just felt done, like you have to make changes or you could just throw up and die? And I laugh about this, but in the moment, that high level of frustration is not funny, right? It does not feel good. You're feeling that negative vibration. It doesn't feel good, and you are just about willing to do anything to stop feeling it. If you are ready to make changes in your life and you're just sick to death of feeling stuck and frustrated, and you just can't seem to make a go of anything that you start, it's okay. That frustration is there to get you to take some action. your feeling of frustration is actually trying to help you. It's driving you to take a different action, to reach out for help, or to start something new, right? Think about the areas in your life that you're frustrated with, right? Usually those are obstacles that you have, right? Most of my clients come to me, their biggest frustration about the over drinking is how they feel the next day. Their tiredness, or not remembering the night before, or not honoring their commitments to be more productive at work or at their house, right? Their frustration is very, very high the next day. But your feeling of frustration can actually really help you. It's driving you to take a different action, to reach out to help, right? When frustration can become harmful is when you try to get rid of that feeling, that negative feeling, right? By buffering, such as drinking and eating and shopping and over Netflixing, or spending countless hours scrolling on Facebook, right? If you don't like that frustration, and instead of actually using it to drive you to do something new, you just do the same things, right? Because you don't like feeling that way. I've been feeling frustrated with myself and my business for the past month. Yes, I still feel frustration. I keep saying I'm going to try something new, and then when the moment comes, I don't. Right? Like, how often do you guys do that? You say you're not going to drink, or say you're only going to have one, and then it comes into the moment, and then you don't. Right? And then then you feel so frustrated with yourself that you didn't do that afterwards, right? I keep telling myself I'm going to try something new, and then when the time comes, I don't, right? And I don't honor my commitment to do it, and then immediately afterwards, I feel frustrated. I've been saying I'm going to do this thing for a month, and I've had plenty of opportunities to do it, and I chicken out whenever it comes up, okay? But today, I felt so frustrated with myself that I'm ripping the Band-Aid on not doing it, and I'm allowing my frustration to push me to do the thing that I am scared to do. See, fear is holding me back from taking a leap, and I let it every single time in this certain situation. But when I avoid fear, which is also a negative emotion, I feel frustrated. I can't run from this negative emotion, right? It's just going to keep showing up. So I might as well let the frustration of me not doing the thing be the dominant emotion to overcoming the fear. And this is exactly what I did when I started my journey to stop over drinking and eating. Yes, I was scared. I was scared to pay a shitload of money with no guaranteed results, scared to give up alcohol, scared to go to a party and not eat or drink, scared of what my friends would think. But listen, I was frustrated more than that. I was frustrated more than I was scared. I was frustrated with my current results of being overweight and hungover on the weekends. I was frustrated with feeling stuck. So I let frustration guide me to pulling the trigger on the best decision I have ever made in my life. I know I've said this before in the podcast, but yes, hiring a life coach and investing in myself to stop over drinking and eating was the best decision I have ever made. And this is on record, okay? It was the best decision that I could have ever made for myself. Because I was willing to invest in myself, I was also willing to do the work that investment came with. Okay, when I made the exchange of the money, which was significant, I was putting myself on the line. And so then I went to work for myself to make those changes. That work was no joke. I didn't watch TV for a month. Every free second I had, I was watching videos, writing, reading books, journaling, getting coached. And all of that work was initially fueled with frustration. That frustration quickly turned into excitement as soon as I took the leap and invested in myself, and then excitement and dedication and commitment drove it home from there. So if you are listening to this podcast and are frustrated that you can't honor your commitments, it's okay. First, I want you to actually just feel your frustration and know that nothing has gone wrong. Everything has been perfect up to this point. Breathe into that vibration into your body. Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? Can you describe it? Get out your notebook or put this podcast on pause and write those questions down. Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? Can you describe it? And then describe it. I want you to relax your muscles where you're feeling the tension and breathe into it. Imagine you have like a muscle cramp And if you are somebody that exercises or runs like I do, like many of you do listening do, and you get a cramp in your stomach when you're running or exercising, and you've been told to breathe into that muscle, that's what I want you to do. I want you to breathe into where you're feeling your frustration. Where is this emotion sitting with you? Relax your muscles where you're feeling the tension and breathe into it. Really feel and allow yourself to feel that frustration. This is what feeling your feelings means, right? Once you do that, now I want you to ask yourself what you actually want to do. Do you want to figure out how to stop over drinking permanently? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to stop? You need to answer those questions yourself. Write those down in your journal. Like this. Do you want to figure out how to stop over drinking permanently? I'm not asking you as a listener to the podcast. I'm telling you to write this down in your journal and then for your mind to answer. Does that make sense? So you write, do you want to figure out how to stop over drinking permanently? Write that question out in your journal and then answer it. Okay? Also, I want you to write this down. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to stop? Write that question down in your journal and then answer it. And then why or why not? Answer those questions. Ask why, answer those questions, and why not? Answer those questions. When you ask your brain questions, it will deliver answers. If it says I don't know, you keep asking. Yes, you do know. Keep pushing yourself to come up with an answer to the question. Okay? Also write down, are you willing to be uncomfortable and to start thinking of how you're going to address this issue differently? Okay? Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Write that down in your journal. Yes, no, and why. Right? Make a list of everything you have tried to stop already. Also make a list of everything you haven't tried. This process alone will help you see there are many things you can do that you haven't done before or you haven't been willing to do. And then you can just be honest with yourself and say, I actually haven't tried everything. I haven't been willing to spend a significant amount of my own money or time, or I haven't been 100% committed. This allows you to take full responsibility for yourself and for your own results. Once you do this, then you can make a clear decision on what you'd like to do. Whatever you decide to do, though, make sure you do it. Don't let your brain freak out after you say you will do something and then the next day you wake up and think what a horrible idea it was and you can't do it and you can't afford it and it will take too much time and you have vacations and birthdays and all the things, right? When you are all in on something and then soon after your brain starts to negotiate, just know this is part of the brain that doesn't want you to change. It wants to stay safe and small and comfortable where you are even though it doesn't feel good. Right? At least it knows that what this feels like right now, where you currently are. It doesn't like knowing what is coming. It literally thinks you might die. But be on to it. Remind yourself of the frustrations and the auto-repeat cycle and tell yourself that you'd rather be scared and fail than to keep going round and round on the hamster wheel. I promise that will lead you to nowhere. Right? What your brain doesn't know is the amazing endless possibilities that are on the other side of the fear. Can you imagine what lies ahead if you were to get over drinking out of the way? Anything! I am living proof of that. Anything you want because you won't be so freaking distracted and in retreat and shame about over drinking anymore. So your brain will have time to be creative and you will take on new challenges. And by you getting over this fear, it will make you even more brave to take on something bigger in the future. But you have to manage your mind if you want better results in your life. You have to tell it what to think and what you actually want. Don't listen to the first thoughts that pop up in your head. You have to just program it like a computer. Your thoughts will create your results every single time. Your feelings that are generated from your thoughts fuel your actions. Frustration is a feeling that can fuel major changes in your life, and it's a red flag that you should be paying attention to. Let yourself feel frustration. That emotion is designed to get us to take different actions if you know how to channel it. Analyze your actions when you feel frustrated. What do you tend to do? Do those actions help move you forward, or do they keep you stuck? With awareness to your own behavior, you can change. Allow your frustrations to move you in the direction you want to go. And if you want my help to see why you have been stuck on the hamster wheel and want to see what private coaching with me is all about, request a free consultation. The link is in the show notes. Fair warning, I will show you how your current decisions are causing your current results. If you want to see that, request a free consultation. Be prepared for me to stand for the results that you want, not the results that you have. You won't leave feeling frustrated. You'll leave that consultation with a better understanding of why you've been doing what you do, and then you will get to decide consciously if you want to do that anymore. All right, my friends, I love you. Feel your frustration. Let it fuel you. Talk to you next week.